We should guarantee paid maternity leave and paid paternity leave, too. That's how you value families. That's how employers retain great workers. And it's good for women because when childcare falls disproportionately on mothers, as it often does, it makes it that much harder to advance in their careers. So we've got to retool our system so that modern families and modern businesses can thrive. And let me be clear, this is not about big government. Or expanding some fictional welfare and food stamp state, the 47% mooching off the government. It is accounting for the realities of how people live now, today, the necessities of a 21st century economy. We've gotten some things done through executive actions. When we had a cooperative Congress, we got a whole lot more done. So far, a lot of Republicans in Congress have been unwilling to act on these agenda items that I just mentioned. But we just keep on looking for ways to get stuff done. They keep on waiting for this whole lame duck thing to happen. Let me tell you, it will happen as soon as I've elected a really good successor to carry on our policies. But until then, we're working pretty hard. But we've made progress. The first bill I signed into law was the Lilly-led Better Fair Pay Act. And I know some of you have seen Lily here today. We passed the Affordable Care Act to give more Americans the security of health care coverage. So that not only people without health insurance could finally get it, but people who had health insurance were treated fairly, so that, for example, no insurer could charge you more just for being a woman. Dry cleaners are next. Valerie, we need to work on that, don't we? Those little blouses of yours, I don't know why they charge so much. So my administration has taken what action that we can. And we've strengthened equal pay protections and paid sick leave for federal contractors. Enhanced work flexibility for all federal employees, raised the minimum wage for federal contract workers. Extended overtime pay protections to over 4 million workers across the country. We try to set a good example, providing my staff with 12 weeks of paid parental leave. And by the way, we've been having a lot of babies, I've noticed, in the White House. Which I'm happy about, I love babies. They bring them into the Oval Office and they make me feel good. This is the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. And the great news is, we're not the only ones doing it. You've got cities and states and businesses across the country that are adjusting to meet the needs of today's workers. In fact, today we can announce that 28 of America's leading businesses are committed to closing the gender pay gap. We should encourage more businesses to join them. We should shop and frequent those companies that are doing the right thing, because the truth is, most folks agree with each other on this. We don't have to have Congress agree with us, we can go ahead and make progress without. Waiting for them. They'll catch up eventually. They're usually a lagging indicator on these issues. If we really want workplace policies that work for everybody, I will say, though, it would help if we had more women in Congress. It would help if we had more women in the corner suite. I have a corner suite. By the way. Just making that connection for you. If we are going to truly change our policies and our politics, then we're also going to have to change something else, though. We're going to have to be honest with ourselves. We're going to have to change something else. We're going to have to change the way we see ourselves. And this is happening already, but I want us to be more intentional about it. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. But we're still boxed in by stereotypes about how men and women should behave. As the great Shirley Chisholm once said, the emotional, sexual, and psychological stereotyping of females begin when the doctor says, "It's a girl." And that has consequences for all of us, whether we're men or women. Black, white, gay, straight, transgender, or otherwise. We need to keep changing the attitude that raises our girls to be demure, and our boys to be assertive. That criticizes our daughters for speaking out, and our sons for shedding a tear. We need to change the attitude that punishes women for their sexuality but gives men a pat on the back for theirs. We need to change an internet where women are routinely harassed and threatened when they go online. We need to keep changing the attitude that congratulates men for changing a diaper. Stigmatizes full-time dads, penalizes working moms. We need to keep changing the attitude that prioritizes being confident. Competitive, and ambitious in the workplace unless you're a woman. We need to keep changing a culture that shines a particularly unforgiving light on women and girls of color. About how they look, about how they feel, about what they should or should not do. Michelle will talk about this in a little bit. She's talked about this. Despite her extraordinary achievements and success. The fact that she is an American original, she is unique. But she still had times where she's had doubts, where she's had to worry whether she was acting the right way or looking the right way. Or whether she was being too assertive or too angry. You remember that? So we've been working to change these stereotypes. That's why we're encouraging more girls to pursue their love for science. And technology, and engineering, and math. That's why we've highlighted women trailblazers. And encouraged media to depict more examples of women in STEM because it's hard to be what you can't see. It's why we've launched a movement of women and men to fight. Campus sexual assault because it's on all of us to stop it. It's why we're changing the culture in our military, from the top down, to take this issue seriously. It's why we're working with communities and businesses and foundations to rethink workplace policies. and fund women entrepreneurs, and expand female leadership. And create more opportunities for girls and women of color. Everybody has a role to play in America. And even as we make progress at home, we look abroad and we know that any country that oppresses half the population, that doesn't let them go to school or work, and does not give them control over their own bodies, that's a society that will not work over the long term. It will not reach its potential. And this is a national security issue. As Commander-in-Chief, I've seen how the ideology that leads Boko Haram to kidnap schoolgirls, and leads ISIL to enslave and rape women, is the same ideology that leads to instability and violence and terrorism. There's a connection there. So we need to be clear about what we're about, what we stand for. Because organizations and ideologies that are repressive and cultivate violence and anger, there's a running thread. And it's dangerous, and poses a threat to pluralism and tolerance and openness. So I've made advancing gender equality a foreign policy priority. And we've implemented a comprehensive strategy to end gender-based violence around the world. From prevention, to treating survivors, to bringing perpetrators to justice. And we're helping to remove barriers that prevent women from participating fully in their societies. We're empowering the next generation of women by investing in adolescent girls. And advancing the Let Girls Learn initiative to get 62 million girls into schools. This is the future that we're building, one where all of us here at home and around the world are Free to live out our dreams. Where our children's aspirations aren't segregated into pink and blue. Where working families don't have to choose between taking care of a loved one and earning a paycheck. Where women and girls, no matter where they live, are free from fear of violence, including gun violence. Where hatred against women, or hatred against the LGBT community, that doesn't neatly fit into some predetermined. Notion of how people should be or how they love, where that is no longer the operative rule in any society. A future where women lead half our businesses, make up half of Congress. Where our girls know they can hold any job, and run any company, and compete on any field. And perform on any stage, and science the heck out of any challenge. That's the future we're trying to build. And the good news is this is the future my daughter's generation already believes in. They believe every door is open to them. They're not engaging in any sort of self-censorship. They're not going to hold themselves back. It couldn't occur to them that they couldn't rise to the top of whatever field they choose. It wouldn't occur to them not to accept all people, no matter how they identify or who they love. They think discrimination is for losers. They think it's weird that we haven't already had a woman president. They expect the world to catch up to them. They expect the world to catch up to them, and I have no doubt that we will. It will take leadership. It will take the right policies. It's going to take creating more opportunities. It requires us telling each other and our children the right stories because the stories we tell matter.